Greetings and thank you for joining the weekly meditation of Calgary Mindfulness, where every Sunday morning we meditate for 15 minutes on a different topic, often suggested by our practicing community. If you would like to join these meditations live, or if you would like to attend in-person meditations around the Calgary area during the summer months, please email CalgaryMindfulness@gmail.com. I hope you enjoy this practice and wishing you a wonderful week. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. This is the weekly Sunday morning meditation from Calgary Mindfulness, and today we have a special day. Our weekly meditation aligns with the All Souls Day. For Italians like me, it is Giorno dei Morti and Dia de los Muertos. You've probably heard of it described that way. So just a wonderful opportunity for us to take a break from our regular meditation series and focus on loving kindness from loved ones and ancestors who have passed on. Let's begin by getting into the mindful body, assuming a posture that is strong and straight, but comfortable, and inhaling deeply. Begin by noticing the rise and fall of the torso as the belly expands and contracts with breath. As we become more centered in this present moment and able to take a deeper breath, let's notice the rise and fall of the chest as we continue to breathe. Both torso and belly expanding and releasing, opening and floating back down. Take a moment to notice the feeling of our feet planted on the floor or mattress. Sending our awareness up through the legs, the calves and knees. And just stopping to circle our thoughts over any area of our bodies that feels a little bit uncomfortable, that needs a little bit of extra support, a little bit more gentleness. As our awareness moves upward through the body, pulling the spine strong and straight. Imagine a connection from the top of the spine right through the floor, right through the earth, heading deeper and deeper, rooting ourselves as deep as a tree, as deep as a mountain. And as we continue to breathe, visualizing our awareness expanding further up through the top of the head, up into the treetops, into the sky, and out far and beyond into the unknown. And stretching our awareness down to be grounded and up to be comprehensive. To stretch further and further beyond our comfort zone. Expanding our awareness, expanding our connection to all life. One breath at a time. For today, Giorni dei Morti, or All Souls Day, I have my little butterfly book of the dead. So all of my loved ones that have passed on in my lifetime, I think I started this in my 20s, I have noted down in this little book. Each one has a butterfly page. And on November 2nd, I pull it out from my room and display it in the house with a candle. And my family and I visit the cemetery with flowers and all that stuff. If it is helpful for you, please use the candles to help focus your gaze if you keep eyes open. The wonderful, gentle flickering is a very good visual anchor. And the bright, warm color is a very soothing color and a good anchor for this practice today. Let's begin by calling to mind any of our loved ones that have passed on. And let's visualize them free of the chains that held the body and mind in this lifetime. Perhaps illnesses, mental or physical, other personality traits that may have been difficult for us to negotiate in this lifetime, whether stubbornness or self-absorption or, any of the other personality traits that we can identify in ourselves that can be difficult to work with. Note any areas, issues, events where a lack of forgiveness and stubbornness has arisen. And take a deep breath, inviting the flow of forgiveness to unstop and renew relating. Now visualizing the ancient stream of our ancestors, people beyond our recorded history, which in our own families may only be one or two generations of oral history, as in my family. Visualizing the hundreds of generations that have come and gone, passing their trips around the sun, leaving this body and leaving the body to be reabsorbed by the earth. And the cycle begins again for new generations, learning the basics, how to live, how to survive, learning wisdom, how to be joyful, how to be respectful, how to give and receive love and forgiveness. All of those cycles must begin again with each generation and all of the pain and suffering that goes with it. And just contemplating that expansiveness of our history and the amount of energy that has been expended by those that came before us to complete these cycles that we are completing now. Continuing to inhale and exhale into the immensity of this energy, the immensity of this history. Visualizing this train of ancestors offering us their loving support, open, heartful energy, loving kindness, to move through this lifetime, to pick up the torch and keep it going, despite the hardship. We are not alone in having known hardship, and we know much less than our ancestors did. My great-grandmother had 9 of 12 children die before the age of 5. I can't even imagine what it must have felt like to carry that in the heart her whole life. I will never know what that was like. I'm just feeling the whole body glowing and expanding with focus and energy as we bring to bear this weight of millennia that has brought us to where we are today. Unknown thoughts, unknown feelings, but likely much like our own. How to survive, how to give our best to our children, to our communities. And now calling to mind loved ones that have passed on, that we were close to in this lifetime. Friends, family, colleagues. And just visualizing them without suffering of the mind or body or heart. Visualizing our loved ones at ease and peaceful and clear, connected to every atom of existence, spirit and physical. Visualize them available to us, to speak to, listening, responding. And if we quiet our minds and bodies, we may be able to feel intuitive responses from our loved ones who have passed on. And if you're tapped in and tuned on, these responses will be infinitely loving, energized, and joyful. The flow of forgiveness is restored. The blocks to communicating are now removed. And the wisdom of our loved ones, once they have passed on into spirit and are more closely aligned with love, God, infinite wisdom, all that lies beyond us that is unknowable. Their wisdom is much greater, their compassion much greater than it can be while in a body. And just visualize our loved ones streaming with immense force, loving kindness towards us, towards our loved ones, our families. Laying our palms face up in our lap to assist with the visualization of receiving this loving kindness from those that have made the transition before us, knowing they will be there to welcome us when we make our transitions. And we will be there to welcome our loved ones when we make our transitions. Or when our loved ones make their own transitions. Honoring our role in this cycle. Not afraid of our roles in this cycle. And with each breath, we continue to receive the loving kindness, the flow of love and forgiveness of our loved ones who have passed on. Giving ourselves permission to release any shame, regret, and anger we may still be holding on to. Acknowledging and surrendering our mistakes so that we can open the flow of love and forgiveness. That is the only sacrifice we have to make this happen, is to be willing to let go of the mistakes and the blocks we keep in place so that we can feel right, justified. Or so that we don't have to look at the pain our mistakes have caused others. Letting go of all of that hoarding so that we can be open to the stream of light and love that is so easily available to us when we choose. And let us bask in that open-heartedness for a few moments together before we close our weekly practice. Notice how open and clearing the breaths may feel, how intense the breathing, the inhalation and exhalation gets when we are committed to releasing our mistakes and opening to the flow of loving kindness that's available. For us in the Northern Hemisphere, as the days shorten, as the responsibilities of outdoor work lessen, and we have more time for nesting and resting, committing to being aware of those that have come before and our important role in this cycle of life. As our loved ones are available for us, so will we be available for our loved ones. And so must our loved ones be available for the generations beyond. This week, I invite you to light a candle. I invite you to journal for your loved ones, about your loved ones, and sit with this loving kindness that is so readily available for us from those who have passed on into spirit. Noticing the wonderful sense of ease and expansiveness in the heart as we commit to this practice. Thank you for joining with me today. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful autumn week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.